Alright, hey guys, so I came up here to see my buddy Phil and trade some fish with him, and I find out he's been holding out on me. This guy has this huge barn behind me in the background here with a whole mess of fish tanks in it. Ain't that right, Phil?
That's right. Come on.
Alright,
Follow me.
let's go check it out. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let's go ahead and get started here with this 75 gallon, which was probably one of my favorite tanks in this fish room. What I love about it is the Oscar with African cichlids. Some people might try to tell you that won't work, but it's working just fine here. Now this tank is definitely on the heavier stocked side, but it has plenty of filtration and all the fish seem very healthy. Here's a beautiful Nimbochromis Venustis that I just fell in love with and I actually took home as part of our trade. There were several cool fish in this tank, but the one that just stopped me in my tracks was this polystigma, which I had never seen in person before, and it is such a cool fish. I'm definitely going to have to think about getting some of these guys. Here we have a nice grow out tank that had a wide variety of fish, from blue dolphins to frontosa and everything in between. This fish room definitely has a focus on African cichlids, which I can very much appreciate. Another thing I just loved about the tanks here were the bright neon colored artificial plants. Some people prefer more natural looking decorations, but I thought these were just so fun and really added to the tank. And same thing in this tank. We have that Buddha statue with that little pagoda. It's just so fun. It makes me want to set up a tank with the same types of decorations. But on a more serious note, something about this breeding tank that I really enjoyed were those cool egg tumblers to the right. I've never seen those before, and I'm definitely going to have to look those up online. As Phil put it, those are a very high necessity for breeding African cichlids. One of the cool species Phil is breeding here is this Cyanachromis freyeri, also known as the iceberg hap. He's also breeding some nice bristlenose plecos, like this one here that's actually guarding eggs in the cave. I've never bred plecos, so I found this behavior very interesting. But hey, let's get back to some show tanks. Here we have another 75 gallon with just a mess of African cichlids. I love it. We've got some nice adult strawberry freyeri, another iceberg hap, just really beautiful fish. And another fish I've never seen before, this albino compressiceps. Moving on, we have a flower horn tank. Now, I'm not much of a flower horn enthusiast, but I can't deny how beautiful they are and how cool their behavior is. I'm just not a huge fan of giant nuchal humps, but for those who don't mind them, these fish can be a great addition to your hobby. Let's check out another show tank. Here we have a 75 gallon with even more African cichlids, and this tank also has an Oscar, which to me is just further evidence that that combination can work. And like all his other tanks, Phil has such fun decorations in here. I mean, how fun is the dragon statue behind the Oscar? Beyond that, this tank was pretty dominated by the OB peacocks used in various breeding projects. I think now is a good time to make a point using something that Phil is very good at in his fish room, and that is having extra tanks if you ever need to use them for treating or quarantining fish. And that is very useful when you keep a lot of fish, especially African cichlids, in heavier stocked tanks. He has these 6 10 gallons just on standby whenever he needs them. But let's wrap up the tour. Africans aren't all we have to look at here. We also had these adorable axolotls to check out. And surprise, a saltwater tank. This was very unexpected in a fish room dominated by freshwater, but it was a pleasant surprise, and I loved seeing these clownfish swim around. Apparently, this entire setup was a rescue. I don't know who gives up 2 cool clownfish and a saltwater tank, but I need to know them so I can get some tanks. Before we finish the tour, I did have one question for Phil. Considering the sheer number of fish that he has, I needed to know. So Phil, what's your favorite fish that you have here in the fish room?
I would have to say my big boy Oscar, Dave.
All right, the Oscar, Dave. And that's an albino Oscar?
Yes.
Wait a minute, we can't forget this cool cat. All right, so Phil, who's this guy?
This is George.
George?
He is
Oh,
a
there we go.
Chinese water dragon.
Chinese water dragon. All right, I want one. But hey guys, that about does us for today. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all the cool fish and other animals. Stick around the channel if you'd like to see more fish room tours, do-it-yourself instructional videos, species profiles, and pretty much everything else fishy. I hope you have a good day, and I hope to see you back here again.